So these are the alfalfa sprouts that I use. I will link them in the description below. So first we are going to soak these seeds, and I use about 4 tablespoons for this tray, which I got on Amazon, which is also linked below. I love that this sprouting tray comes with a set of 5 so that when I want to make a lot of sprouts, I can do so. So I just poured some water in here, just enough to soak the seeds. And also I wanted to show you, make sure all of the seeds are in the water and not on the sides. And I let these soak for about 6 to 10 hours on my counter. And you'll notice in this video, the seeds have already started to plump up a little bit. So after that 6 to 10 hours, we are going to rinse these off. I just rinsed them in the sink water, and then I used a strainer to make sure all of the water was drained. There is still a little bit left in the container, but I'm going to rinse these ones off that are in the strainer one more time, give them a good rinse, and then I'm going to set these aside on top of a bowl while I rinse the last bit out of the green sprouting tray. So here I go again. I'm just going to rinse the seeds and then pour them into the same strainer and then set them on top of the bowl. I did want to mention that in the past I have used the strainer jar method with the mason jars, but for some reason it's just really hot in this climate that I live now, and during this time of year I just noticed some molding. Whereas I've noticed in these sprouting trays, it's a lot less prone to any type of molding or mildew or anything like that because they are all spread out and they are all getting a good amount of air. Once the seeds have been rinsed, we lay this paper that came with the sprouting trays on top of the tray, and then I'm going to pour all of the seeds out and then try to even them out so that they are not sitting all on top of each other. You can use a spatula or a spoon, whichever works best for you. I started off with a spatula, but then I noticed that the seeds stick a little more to it, so then I end up using a spoon afterwards. So I'm going to speed this up a bit just because this takes a little bit of time, and you get the point. I try to make sure that the whole surface level is covered, even to the corners and all the outside. Before we cover them, we are going to spray them with this Ocean Minerals mixture with water. You mix 1 ounce of this Ocean Magic Sea Minerals with 1 gallon of water, and that's what I spray on there for the next 5 days or so. Here is the next day. As you can see, we have a lot of growth already. All I did was cover them and put them in my pantry and allowed them to sprout. This is me spraying them again. So you spray them each day, once in the morning and once at night. And also, I should note, this is in summertime, so they can dry out if you are not making sure they are moist. And then after you spray them, you will cover them up. And I'm going to be spraying 3 trays because that's how many I made. And then I will put them away back in the pantry in the dark. And that will allow them to sprout even more. And so I'm going to speed the rest of this up because that's basically just what I'm doing. I'm going to spray the next one and cover it and put it in the pantry. Mind you, I do spray these at night as well before I go to bed. And here we have day 2. And here's a close-up of what they look like. You can tell the roots or the little tails have gotten a little bit longer. And so I'm going to spray these. This was in the morning, but like I said, I do spray them in morning and at night. If it's fairly cold where you're at, you may only need to spray them 1 time. You'll be able to tell because they'll look a little dry if you need to spray them more than once. And now we have day 3. They're starting to stand up a little bit more. And they're getting a little bit taller. I'll pull some out just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll put those back, and then I will spray them again and put them back in the pantry. And if you didn't know, the reason why we put them typically in a darker place is because they tend to sprout better in a dark area. Here we have day 4. You know the deal. We're going to do the same thing all over. Spray them again and put them back into the pantry. And then once we get to day 5, if they're as big as you would like them, I typically do 5 to 6 days depending on how warm it is. And the day that we plan on eating them, you want to let them sit out for a few hours on the counter or near some sunlight, because what this does is it allows the sprouts to start to turn green, and it creates what is called photosynthesis, and it also increases the nutrient value of the sprouts. So here is a closer picture of them. You can totally let them grow a little bit longer. I usually do, but I wanted to get this video done, so here's where I stop them at. And I'm just placing them in a plastic bag with some paper towels so that they're not soaking wet. You don't, again, want them to mold. And as you see me doing here, they lift fairly easy in chunks off of that paper that they were growing on. And so I just lift them up and continue to fill up the bag with all of the sprouts. Once you learn how to make your own sprouts, you'll probably rarely buy sprouts again. Not only because of how easy it is, but it's much more affordable and they last very long in the fridge. So here I'm going to speed the rest of this up because all you'll see me doing from here is just peeling off the sprouts from the paper with the next 2 trays as well. And as I mentioned, they last a long time in the fridge, for me over a week for sure, but make sure to check them. You'll be able to tell if they are going bad. They'll either smell different, get soggy, etc. And so here's my little sprout stash that I'm going to put away. Stay tuned if you'd like to see the mukbang of me making my favorite way to eat them, which is on toast. Okay, hey you guys, so this mukbang is not only for the sprouts video, but also for this green sauce that I also made. So I'm putting both of those together and I'm putting them on some toast. Here I have some toast, and this bread recipe is on my YouTube, gluten-free and oil-free, just in case you didn't know. But anyway, so I have a bunch of things that I'm going to put on the toast that I have for today that are some of my favorite things that I usually put on this regularly. I kind of switch up the things that I have sometimes, like sometimes I'll add cucumber or greens or whatever, but today we're just working with what I got, and let's get started. So I have 4 of these toasts. I basically had the bread and I cut them in half, so that's why I have 4. I would show y'all the recording of this, but I didn't have the other camera set up, so look, this is gonna have to do, this is the mukbang part, all right? Y'all just bear with me, okay? So first, what I like to do is I have this like avocado spread, and it's literally just mashed avocado. Of course, the avocado, you want it to be ripe. Here, I'll kind of like show you guys while I'm doing it. So I put the mashed avocado on the bottom, and then obviously we're gonna do that with all 4. But I really like this because it gives it a little bit of a creaminess. And so I know you guys have seen before when I make this bread, I use that garlic lover sauce. I really love that sauce on this bread as well, or this like toast recipe. But I didn't have any in the fridge, so it's just really quick to whip up some avocado spread, which is avocado, lemon juice, a little bit of sea salt, and I like to add fresh garlic. But listen, your girl was pressed for time, was putting the baby down, so I used dried garlic, which it still tastes amazing like that. And I mean, if you're really pressed for time, you can just use, this one kind of broke a little bit, but it's all right. Look, we're gonna do what we gotta do. You can use just like slices of avocado if you don't have time, but I really like the lemon juice in it. The lemon juice really adds to this whole recipe. I also made some habanero salsa, and look how there's only a little bit left, but it tastes fire on this. So I like a little spice. If you like a little spice, you can cut up a little bit of some jalapenos or whatnot. We also do need to add the green sauce, and then we're gonna put the green sauce on top. I know it's kind of weird, like green sauce on green sauce. Aesthetically, you can't really tell what is what, but it's okay. So here's the texture of the green sauce. It's beautiful. So I'm just gonna spread that on top of the avocado, basically like a half-ass version of guacamole, right? I mean, because let's be real, guacamole would have took me a little bit longer, even though my guac is fire. I think I have that recipe up. Yeah, I have that recipe up on my YouTube if you want that one. That one's awesome. But look, this is basically what it looks like, and I'm not getting all fancy with making sure it gets all on the edges. I mean, do what you gotta do, but look, we just doing what we can right now. We don't got a ton of time, especially because, let me say this, I'm doing a mukbang for like 5 things in this one setting, so bear with me, y'all. Okay, so then I have the habanero, and I'm gonna put this on because one thing I will say is anything spicy, I don't like it touching my lips, because then my lips kind of like get a little hot because my lips get a little spicy. So I like to put this on the bottom layer. This way I could taste it, but it's not gonna like, and I'm literally just pouring this on here, the rest of it. So I'll be able to taste it. Oh, I can smell it. It smells so good. So I'll be able to taste it, but it's not gonna like burn my face. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, okay. Next up, I spilled some of this. Let me just fix that. Okay, next up, we have our tomatoes. So I cut some tomato slices. I wish these were like heirlooms for my garden, but no, they're just original organic tomatoes from Trader Joe's, okay? But listen, this gonna do. So I'm putting like a few, I put like 3 or 4 on each one, and sometimes I'll like cut them in half like this just to make them fit. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let me see. So for example, on my show toast, looks like that. And I basically just cover them all up. And I'll even use like the little pieces for like the little areas that I don't have enough room for. And I'm gonna cut, oh shoot, I hope I don't get this dirty. I'm gonna cut up some to make them fit a little bit. For the most part, I think we got it. I think they're all pretty much almost covered. Okay, so that's that. We got them all covered up. And next we're just gonna add the few little bits of seasonings, which for one, we'll have a little bit of sea salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this on the top. You gotta have a little sea salt on your tomatoes. We're gonna add some ground pepper. Just a little bit. Those are kind of big holes. Okay. And then I like to add a little bit of some cayenne as well. Listen, your girl likes a lot of spice, okay? Don't judge me. And then, I mean, the spice is good for you too, FYI. And this is something that like me and my boyfriend love. We love adding sesame seeds. And you can use white if you like. And mind you, you can tailor this to however you like it. This is just how I like to eat it with the sprouts and the green sauce, okay? So anyways, I'm gonna pour some of this on there. And then I top it with my sprouts. And so I have the sprouts in this bag here. And mind you, I've been eating them up. I've been trying not to eat up this last bit because I knew I was going to use it for the mukbang. So I'm just going to put this, I put a lot on each one, like probably like that much. And let's not, we go get this together. I'll show you guys a picture of it in a second before I eat it. But I need to get a lot on here. And then what I like to do, last thing, is because your sprouts can be a little bit like, you know, they're not like, there's like a sauce with it. I like to squeeze a little bit of lemon on top. So this was a lemon that I had juiced from there's a little bit juice left still in there from the, you see it there? And I just like to squeeze a little bit out on top. I swear it adds another like juiciness layer that so good. Just make sure that none of the seeds get on there because you don't want to chop on no seeds. Okay. Now, I should take a picture of this. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Okay, I took some pictures of it, so now I can actually try it for you guys. I'm so excited. I'm actually really hungry. So this is what it looks like. I know it doesn't like look the greatest, but let me tell you. It's so good. I know I did a video too on like me eating a sandwich, I think, with sprouts, but I think I put other stuff in it. I don't remember, but this one's like my little simple version. Anyways, I love it so much, so much. Okay, let's take a bite. See, for me, I like a little bit of texture too. The bread's a little bit crunchy. Sprouts got a little crunch. The sesame seeds give it a little crunch. And then you have like the softness of the guacamole or the like half-half guacamole. And I don't know what I'm going to call that green sauce, but basically blended chimichurri, if you will. And I can't forget about the tomatoes. I mean, the tomatoes are just so good. So you have a little bit of the fats, and then you have that lemon juice on top with the spicy habanero sauce. Oh my gosh. It's so good. We eat this at home a lot. It's just so quick and easy and so refreshing. Especially like you add a few cucumbers on top. It's just so good. And of course, like, it's good with or without the sprouts, but the sprouts just take it to another level, you guys. And on top of it, sprouts are a superfood, so you want to eat them as much as you can. And obviously, eating them raw is the best possible way you can eat them. So why not on a like really refreshing toast? Mm. And see, like, I have the habanero on here, but it's like a perfect spice, but it's not like burning my lips. Sometimes you'll get some condiments fall off. It's all right. Did you guys see all the seeds in my teeth? It's all right. I'm gonna pour a little more lemon juice. Okay, this one's next. If I eat something, I'm taking big bites, I get lipstick on my bottom chin because my bottom lip touches it. Uh-oh. Piece came off. Let's put that back on top. I think this will be my last piece I'll eat on camera. The rest I'll eat off. And then I'll move on to the next video. But with how easy sprouts are to make, like, you gotta make them at home. They're just way cheaper to make at home. They're just a lot more fresh. You don't have to worry about them like going bad or anything like that. Like, they last a lot longer. So it makes me think actually like how long they've been sitting in the containers at the grocery store. Double fisted. But I also like to add the sprouts to like salads. You can add them to smoothies too and blend them up. Once I found out how healthy they are, I made sure to try to incorporate them regularly in my food. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it off here while I eat the rest of this. But I hope you guys enjoy. It's super easy to make them at home. It's a cool thing to do with your kids too, if you have kids, to show them how you can grow stuff inside without having to like do too much or even have soil. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, bye.